And welcome back to more Super Mario Sunshine! So last time, we continued exploring Bianco Hills, and opened the entrances to two new major areas. This time, hopefully we'll be able to finish up the final few episodes in Bianco Hills and begin exploring somewhere else. Episode 6: The Secret of the Dirty Lake. So this level is really interesting for a few different reasons. The first is, the intended route is so complicated that I'm pretty sure I've never done it. So as we make our way over to this lake, it is completely poisonous. If we fall into it, we will take damage. So to get over to that cave entrance on the other side, what you're supposed to do is use these lily pads. So we can use F.L.U.D. to push ourselves around, but they will gradually deteriorate because the water is so poisonous. So what you're supposed to do is basically jump from one to the next, and gradually make your way over. I don't like doing this level in that way. Instead, I find it much easier to follow the path to the windmill to the point where the cave entrance is visible. So right about, here. So basically go over to this ledge, jump, and then use the hover, and you can very easily make it over here. It saves a lot of time, it's frankly a lot easier I find, and there we go. This is a special upgrade. You got the turbo nozzle. Press and hold ZR to zoom.
Mario.
Press and hold ZR to power up the turbo nozzle and do a super dash. This is a great item in certain areas. It's not going to be particularly helpful because this is a secret level, so let's just show it off really briefly. I'm really not sure why they give you an upgrade right before F.L.U.D. gets taken away, but frankly the turbo nozzle would not be helpful here whatsoever. So, it actually replaces the hover nozzle, so even if we could take F.L.U.D. in here, having the turbo nozzle instead of the hover would not be advisable. So this level is basically about jumping across various moving platforms. These are rotating blocks. Because of the physics in Sunshine, you can basically stand on these for longer than you might expect, especially compared to Galaxy, where they actually bring a level from Sunshine over, and it's much harder in Galaxy because of the slope physics. This level is also notable for being really glitchy in the initial release of the 3D All-Stars collection for Switch. So, there are basically little pathways for these blocks to follow, indicated by little gray blocks. They're not visible, and they're not supposed to be, but they were very much visible when the game first launched. An update in November hid them, so it's more like the original release, but it's kind of interesting that it got past testing. I kind of feel like the 3D All-Stars collection was fairly rushed out for the anniversary, but at least as of now, it's in pretty good shape, so, with that, this level plays as intended and looks like it's supposed to, and that's all there is to it. Alright, so no big events around Delfino Plaza, so let's jump back in.
Here we go.
Episode 7: Shadow Mario on the Loose. So, like before, to fight Shadow Mario, all we have to do is run after him and spray water at him. This level is actually kind of difficult, partly because he's running down a slope, so I feel like it's a lot easier fighting Shadow Mario on level ground than when he's basically on different terrain. So right now, this is a pretty good opportunity to deal some damage while he's on level ground with Mario. And there we go. Arg, I'll remember this. My least favorite part about Shadow Mario levels, by the way, every episode 7 in each area will be a Shadow Mario stage, and these are mandatory for completing the game. My least favorite part of these levels is you can't pick up the Shine Sprite in midair. You have to wait until it lands on the ground before you can pick it up. Even though Episode 7 is the only requirement to unlock the final level, each area actually has 8 episodes.
Here we go.
Episode 8, The Red Coins of the Lake. So, basically this game's structure is really weird. It's different than 64 or Galaxy even, where instead of certain goals being tied to the number of collectibles you have, it's tied to specific collectibles. Meaning, you really don't need to do anything past Episode 7 in an area to actually reach the ending. Obviously this being a 100% playthrough, we will be playing every episode, but it's actually not required if you're playing casually. Which is good, because some of the Episode 8s are very rough, so we'll be getting to that much later, but this one's pretty easygoing. It's another red coin stage. Again, this game really likes red coins. And we still actually technically have 2 more Shine Sprites to collect in this area. So, the basic structure of Sunshine is 7 episodes, with the last one being Shadow Mario, a bonus episode with a Shine Sprite, and then 2 more hidden Shine Sprites, either tied to the secrets or some other hidden obstacle in levels that only have 1 secret stage. There's also the 100 coin Shine Sprite, similar to the 100 coin star in Mario 64, and then there's also the 30 blue coins in each area. So, after this we'll be taking a break from Bianco Hills, but there are still quite a few more items to collect here. I'll be saving the bonus Shine Sprites and the 100 coins and the blue coins for later, because we actually can't get all the blue coins yet, because we're actually missing an item. Speaking of missing an item, I actually did pass a power-up, because I actually don't find it remotely helpful in this level. So we're going to show off that power-up a little bit later. Similar to the turbo nozzle, it's not particularly useful in this level, but it's kind of interesting that it is available here. I guess this is also a great time to talk about one of the other benefits of the 3D All-Stars collection, the higher resolution. So, this game was originally 4x3 and 480p at most. More likely 480i, because GameCube component cables, and even GameCubes that support component cables, are exceptionally rare. So the boosted resolution and widescreen support, I think, actually really makes a difference in levels like this, where you're actually looking for items. Makes it a little bit easier, I find, to actually locate things at a distance. But there's the last red coin. That was pretty easy. Alright, so the star, or the shine, is over there, so as we make our way over, I suppose another good thing to note is one of the major downsides of this collection is, as of now, as of the time of recording this, this is a timed release. It is only available physically and digitally until March 31st, which is really a shame because this is actually a really good version. I don't think it'll be permanent, to be honest, because they did go out of their way to fix bugs like the episode 6 debug cubes. So I have a feeling that this will not be permanently delisted and it will come back at some point. But if you really want this collection, I would advise picking it up as soon as possible before it gets delisted, because who knows what form these releases will take in the future, whether there will be another collection or if they'll be standalone. We don't know yet as of the time of recording this. But with that, this is the last major Shine Sprite of Bianco Hills. So there's now something happening at the northwest part of the island, but instead of checking out what that is, I think we're going to check out a different area instead. So over here is the second major level of the game, so let's see what it's like. Rico Harbor. Gooper Blooper breaks out. Episode 1. So this is Rico Harbor. It's much more watery, to be honest, with lots of different little scaffolding and other platforms. So this level is actually kind of neat. It's not one of my favorites, to be honest, but it's kind of a nice little platforming area because of how much is water and how much you do have to platform, even in comparison to like Bianco Hills. You're supposed to use a lot more of the scaffolding, like that yellow cage, to make it over here. I just kind of skipped a whole lot of this level. But over here, we have a bunch of crates and a little tentacle. So let's try yanking on it and seeing what happens. So this is Gooper Blooper. A fairly easy boss. You must find a way to fight it. So all you have to do is basically pull on its little snout like so. But it's a two-phase fight. So basically you have to actually wash off its face, otherwise Mario won't be able to grab onto its snout. So my advice would be, you could actually yank off all of the tentacles so he can't attack, but it's actually really easy to just basically spray his face to get him to attack, and then while he's recovering, basically go in for another hit. And we have our first Shine Sprite of Rico Harbor. So like before, there are 8 main episodes here, so we'll be spending a bit of time here before moving on to seeing what that is. Episode 2, Blooper Surfing Safari. So this time we're heading to the right side of the area, where there are 3 bloopers over here, green, yellow, and pink. So, from left to right, the green is the slowest, the yellow is the medium speed, and the pink one is the fastest. So, let's take this one. This is fairly easy to navigate, just kind of follow the trail of coins, and make it over to this little entrance under this arch. Wahoo! You wanna go for a ride, bud? Go ahead and jump on the blooper you like best. Go on. Show me some super blooper surfing and win yourself a prize. So because this area is a little bit more of an obstacle course, we are going to take the yellow blooper because it's still fairly fast, but easier to maneuver. The pink one, while it is technically the fastest, has the worst turning, so because we're having to make a lot of quick turns here, it might be a little bit easier to go through this with the yellow one. Green is obviously good if you're starting out and need to kind of learn the course because it's the slowest but turns the best. We can jump over these little walls here to skip having to turn. That saves us a lot of time, which is good to note for later. And with that, that's all there is to this. I feel like it's worth noting that both getting here and completing this race don't require bloopers. You can actually jump off of where Gooper Blooper was and hover into the tunnel entrance, but it's actually possible to complete the race itself on land by basically jumping up to these like higher ledges and basically making your way to the key checkpoints on land. I think speedrunners might do that, but I do not have the expertise to know how to do that, so I just kind of did this shine sprite the old-fashioned way. So before we close out this video, there is a really easy shine sprite we can get in Delfino Plaza. So something worth noting in this game is when coins appear, they actually disappear really quickly, so you have to actually be really quick on the draw when a coin appears. But if we talk to this Pianta, howdy, throw me a coin and I'll throw you for a loop. Yeah, and away you go. And we already have another shine sprite. Alright, so we're going to continue exploring Rico Harbor next time. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Super Mario Sunshine.